anybody familiar already with the Desire Map? You are. Okay, good. So it started out as a book. Well, it started out in Danielle LaPorte's living room one New Year's Eve, when she and her, I think it was husband at the time, they, I guess like a lot of us around New Year's, we'll kind of start thinking about goals and, our progress along our path of reaching our goals, and just had kind of, I guess, a moment of clarity with realizing that the things that we want are not, we don't want them because of some intrinsic value of that thing. We want the thing that we want because of the feeling that it's going to give us when we get it, or the feeling we think it's going to give us when we achieve that goal, right? So the Desire Map is just a tool for achieving our goals, right? But what I like about it is that it's different from some of the other tools for, tools for success, or whatever kind of different programs there are out there, because it focuses on feelings. So it's, I guess you could say it's more of the touchy-feely kind of, approach to goal setting and to achieving our goals. And something that gets brought up a lot that I'm just going to mention, I don't know if anybody's a fan of, the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. Sometimes when people start learning about the Desire Map, they get a little bit upset about, they say, well, you're not supposed to be attached to your desires, and desires are a bad thing. And, well, hello. And Danielle LaPorte has written a good, piece about that and how it's different. And so I just wanted to mention that we're not attached to our desires, but we are instead kind of celebrating our desires. And one good thing about the Desire Map too is that once you go through the process and you uncover all of your core desired feelings, and then we use our core desired feelings to achieve our goals, to kind of, it's like the GPS, right? That kind of tells us, oh, this is the next step, and this is the next step, this is the next step. And once we do that, then sometimes our goals change, right? Once we dig down into the core desired feelings, we realize that the thing that we thought we wanted is really not the thing that we wanted after all. So there is, a lot of room for non-attachment. And then another thing that I think is unique about this this method is that it really gives us permission to even have desires, right? There's the Buddhist principle that says desires are bad, and then there's, other parts in our culture that, especially, as parents, a lot of times, our desires become secondary. By the time, once we have a kid, we have to put all of our stuff on the back burner, or we feel like we have to put all of our stuff on the back burner, and focus on helping our kids achieve their goals, or whatever goals that we think our kids, should be working toward. And this method really, gives us permission to even have the desires, to speak them out loud, and then to work with them. So that was just kind of, I just wanted to do a little bit of an intro of kind of how the Desire Map is different from some of these other, goal setting things that are out there. So I've already touched on this a little bit, but the basic premise of the Desire Map is that we have desires, we have goals and things that we want in our lives. And once you start to look at it, the thing that you want is not actually the thing that you want. What you really want is the feeling that you think that thing is going to give you. what we do with the Desire Map is kind of back up and look at different life areas and think about how do you want to feel in those different life areas. And let's see if I can find them real quick. The book is called The Desire Map. And so there are several different ways. So you can just get the book, and it's like half book and then half workbook. The second half is a workbook. So you can just get the book, do it by yourself, kind of each week or each day, do a little bit of it, and totally self-study type of thing. Danielle Laporte has done like a guided workshop where it's a video and you can still kind of do it by yourself, but she's guiding you through it. And then you can also, I've got the curriculum for the workshop that's facilitated. So that's what I do is do Desire Map workshops in person and virtually. And so a whole Desire Map workshop is either going to be like 2.5 days or like 7 evenings. So it's it's a long process, and we're just going to be touching on it a little bit today, kind of just a little bit of an exposure to it, and then we're gonna do an exercise to kind of get down to at least hopefully today one of our core desired feelings. Most people have 3 to 5-ish core desired feelings, but yeah, today we're just going to focus on one of those. So what you do is part of the process is thinking about how do you want to feel in these areas of life. So livelihood and lifestyle, body and wellness, creativity and learning, relationships and society, and essence and spirituality. So that's kind of the basics of, so we'll go through all those, and I've got paper and markers for everybody to kind of think about that, but after the little intro here, I just wanted to kind of open the circle and create a little bit of a sacred space here for us to all feel safe, sharing if you want to, and really kind of opening up to our desires, right? We need to give ourselves permission. Unfortunately, in our culture, we have to take time for ourselves and kind of tune everything else out and take time for this. So we don't have a candle, but Nikki was able to bring a crystal, so we're just going to bring the crystal into the circle, and I'm going to do a little reading from Danielle Laporte. And then we'll get going on the rest of our desire mapping. Okay, so this is just a little devotional that Danielle wrote, and it's called You Are More. Can everybody hear me? It seems so loud over there. Okay. You are more. You are more than your name. You are more than your frame. More than your DNA. You are more plenty than all that you have given birth to. And all those big, big wishes. You are even bigger. Imagine that. Imagine anything, and you are more. You are gone, gone, gone beyond, the beyond of what started this all. I pray you desire temples of peace and benevolent tsunamis of love, and that you realize your size in relation to this universal declaration. I desire. You are the core and the more, the ever-expanding desire. So, the first thing I wanted to do is just go around the circle, and we'll just have to do it briefly since we've got lots of folks in here, but just, say your name and just a short why you were attracted to coming to this session. And, hopefully everybody, I want it to be a safe space where we can be honest, and if your partner drags you here, that's an okay answer to that question too. So, do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Parag Karkanis. I guess who doesn't want to create the life? That's the answer to why I'm here.
I'm Diamond, and any tips on creating a better life? All this book.
I'm Melissa, and I feel like I'm constantly striving to create a life that is that's Christina's team.
One more tool, yeah, and this is just one tool that, if it resonates with you, use it.
My wife and I want something else. Want to do something.
Time for a change. Okay.
I'm Chris. I love Danielle Laporte's work, and I just wanted to keep the feeling moving.
So have you done the whole process before?
I've done a ton of other. I
Okay.
haven't actually done Desire Map, but I work a lot with Nancy Levin. So I've done a lot of self-excavation, to really get rid of what isn't working so I can find what does work.
Hi, I'm Brent. I drive my partner Vicky here. I know.
Kicking and screaming.
I'd love to create my experience and learning new and different ways of being open and accepting of that. And so, tapping into my true desires and that as part of my experience.
I'm Nikki, and he made me I've done the Desire Map book on my own, and I'm just interested in the idea of doing it in community. It sounds really cool, and Christina's awesome. So.
I'm Amy. I am really interested in any kind of desire map, law of attraction, and any of that kind of stuff. My one little caveat is I'm always looking for the answer of how do you do it when you have a chronic disease that keeps you back, because I really, really struggle with that as far as if 70% of my brain at any given time is focused on making sure that I'm functioning, how do you use this stuff? And so I do a lot of this work, but I'm really interested in how to take it one more step.
Cool.
I'm Rosemary and recently retired, so for the first time I think ever in a long time, I'm making a focus on myself. And so what do I do with this new chapter?
Cool.
I'm Cherie. I just got here, but I might go to the preschooling.
Yes.
Go for it.
You are hurt my feelings, don't worry.
That's honoring your desire, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Totally honoring it.
Bye.
I'm Julian, and I thought it would be interesting to find out more about this subject.
All right.
I'm Christine, and it's Emily.
All right.
I'm Deb. I love Danielle as well. I haven't done the whole thing, but I have one of her books and I get all her emails, and she's awesome. I want to meet her one day.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of totally jumping and changing our whole life. So, yeah, creating the life we want.
Yeah, right on.
My name is Marie, and I have been working really hard on achieving peace of mind.
Okay. So how will you know when you've achieved it?
I will probably think less. I'd like to think less.
Okay.
That's one way. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was just curious what, your thoughts were on it. I think it's interesting to say achieving peace of mind, like it's like this thing that you can get to and then you're done.
Yes,
so.
So at least working towards it
Right,
to
right.
feel that I feel it a lot of the time.
Right.
That would be great.
Awesome.
I'm Melissa. When we were schooling, every
everybody was miserable. And now that we're homeschooling and now unschooling, my kids are happier. And I'm less miserable. But I wanna figure out how I can make a life for myself that makes me happy, because this unschooling thing is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to like carve out a little space for me.
Awesome. That's so important with unschooling, because if we're gonna help our children fulfill their desires and follow their interests, and but we're not doing it ourselves, that's a problem. They're gonna learn what they see you doing, right? So it's huge, and I think people are so often so focused on, oh, the kids need to do this, or they are let's let them do their thing, but then we neglect ourselves. So
I'm Karen, and I've been working a lot this year. I think on trying to done some great vision board work with Frankie, and working on practicing mindfulness and just sort of trying to bring some peace into my really chaotic life, and working on trying to understand that. I think we're always like, oh, someday I'll have this, and someday I'll do that, and someday, and it's someday is now. So like just trying to, I'm always looking for tools to kind of help me with that, and doing some vision boards and like just being in the moment and things like that. Those have definitely helped. So I'm always just looking at more things. My life is really chaotic. In addition to unschooling, I work a lot of part-time jobs and we travel. Not compared to a lot of the people here, but we travel a lot, and so just to kind of try and streamline and figure out how to continue doing the things that we want, and maybe working less but growing the businesses that I enjoy more, or whatever kind of thing. So
awesome. So you bring up something that I forgot to say at the beginning, and that is that once you figure out what your core desired feelings are, and you begin to use them as a tool for planning your life, but also planning your daily activities, right? You use your core desired feelings to make your to-do list, and to say, oh, this doesn't need to be on my to-do list, right? If it doesn't bring me one of my core desired feelings, it doesn't need to be on my to-do list, right? So the great thing about the Desire Map is that it does bring us into the present moment, rather than striving to achieve, peace of mind or whatever the thing is. We say, okay, well, what can I do today to give me a little bit of peace of mind, or a little bit of freedom, or a little bit of whatever the core desired feelings are, and which then opens us up, and that answers your question, and I forgot her name. Chronic illness. When we can create that feeling of peace or that feeling of freedom or whatever, it helps our body relax. It helps us heal. It helps, So rather than I gotta strive to try to get to some peace where then I can get some healing done, it's, oh no, I'm going to find a little bit more peace today and a little bit more today, and then it grows and it grows and it grows. So you're experiencing those feelings that you want to experience, not sometime in the future, but hopefully a little bit more every day.
Hi, I'm Claudine. I'm here really because this fit into the time of where I was before, but I happened to be here to do something in a group setting and like get some energy from the group, and because it is a lot of times I am doing it on my own, and it's just the other groups.
Totally.
I'm Celia. Hi. I'm here because I want to hang out with Christina, so I would have been here no matter what the topic is.
So Delia and I have been friends for a long time online, but we just got to meet today for the first time. It's so exciting. Okay. Did everybody go? No.
I'm David, and I've been trying to learn what the question was by listening to the answers. So I think the question was why are we here? And I was just in the other room and thought I'd come here.
And then you didn't go get right?
And I'm also, I read last year a book from Ken Robinson called Finding Your Element.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered really a project that I like, and now I am figuring how to increase the time I dedicate to it in the day-to-day
perfect. And you made me think of another thing that has to do with unschooling, and then hopefully we'll get more to ourselves, right? Talk about ourselves. But when we're unschooling, it's a very different approach to what we're used to, right? The school model is, well, we have all these, things that the kid needs to know or achieve or skills they need to learn, and then we got to get there. But unschooling is more like a desire map, right? It's the how does the kid want to feel? How do they, they make their choices during the day based on, oh, this feels better than this, and we're trained as children to move away from that, right? So, getting better at this for ourselves is just going to help us be, help us be better at allowing our kids to also do the same thing. So, just thought of that. All right, did everybody get to say? All right. I'm here because Anne asked me to come, and I said yes. Any excuse to come to New York is always a good excuse, right? And I'm here because I really am passionate about this process, and it was has been so helpful for me in my life that I want to share. Thank you for asking.
Can I just ask a question? I kind of piggyback on what Julie read. Amy, I'm sorry. That's right. With the chronic illness piece, I had a fall a year and a half ago, and I had a meltdown before coming down because it's so painful. And I'm so tired of it being painful, so I deeply resonate with, and I've done so much work, with coaching and healing, acupuncture, and everything that you can possibly imagine, and it's still here. So I'm like, okay, how am I holding it? I've created the peace, I've created that. I took her out of school, and our house is happier. I feel more balanced. This is what I teach people to declutter and excavate. So you're saying your idea is to really just create more peace, and eventually whatever it is will ease and will leave.
The short answer is yes. But it's a process for everybody, right, to figure it out. Now, you're bringing up something that I'm going to be doing one of my other sessions about, which is it's on Site K, but which is about clearing the subconscious beliefs that we have. And so when somebody says to me, I've been working on this stuff for a long time, right? They've been working on it on the conscious level, right? And you become more conscious of your thoughts and more conscious of your feelings and more conscious of how you're spending your day in order to achieve those feelings and all of those things. But there's, for 99% of us, we have subconscious beliefs that, are formed.
Yeah, I've done a lot of W4 work and going for the coaching certification.
Yeah, so I think it's just peeling back the layers
too.
of the onion to get,
So your thought is once you excavate all of it, and eventually it might just...
it depends. What did you say?
Relax into it.
Well, there is that. So often we resist it, right? When we have, and pain is the hardest. I have chronic back pain since I was 17 years old, and I've really learned how it's a messenger for me. Yeah. I've learned how much I resist it, and the resistance to the fact that it's still here. Keeps it.
I've gone through that, and I've gotten to the point of, okay, you're here to teach me something.
Right.
What is it I still have to learn? My daughter, who's 10, said, Mom, I just don't get it. What else is it that you can possibly learn? You quit your job. You did. What else is there? And I'm like, I don't know. But, so clearly there's more, but I just
right.
So I tried to accept it. Okay.
Yeah, acceptance is a powerful. Acceptance is such a powerful, and it's so counterintuitive to how we're taught. You see a problem. Oh, that's wrong, that shouldn't be there, so how are we going to get rid of it? Instead of, oh wait, maybe this is here showing me something that I wouldn't be able to learn otherwise, So yeah, okay, all right, let's see what's next. Okay, so we're going to, let's go ahead and pass out these papers. Everybody, you can take a piece of paper or two, and then take a marker or two. We're going to be kind of just doodling and brainstorming for your core desired feelings. So take colors you love and all right, so what we're going to do, I'll go through again and remind everybody, and you don't have to write these down. But just as you're thinking about the feelings that you want to feel. So you can start by thinking about your goals. You know, if you have a goal of finding a new job, you can think about, well, what are the feelings that I want to feel? You know, why is it that I need to make this change, right? What are the feelings that I'm after in getting a new job? Or whatever kind of your big goals are. And it could be something like the goal could be getting rid of something, right? Like releasing chronic pain or something like that. So whatever your goal is, you can think about what are the actual feelings that I want underneath it. Or you can just kind of think about these life areas. So it's livelihood and lifestyle, body and wellness, creativity and learning, relationships and society, and essence and spirituality. So you don't have to think about all of those, but you know, if a couple kind of stood out for you, you can just kind of focus on those. But I'm sorry. Sure. Livelihood and lifestyle, body and wellness, creativity and learning, relationships and society, and essence and spirituality. I'll put these in the middle if anybody needs a new color. Essence and spirituality. So, I'm going to read one more little reading and then just let everybody spend some time thinking about and brainstorming. And one more just piece of instruction. If you do all of those 7 areas, you'll start to see a theme emerge, right? Like if you say, I want to feel blah 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 in this area, and then you do the other areas, you'll notice that some of those feelings are going to be the same in different areas. So those are clues of how you can boil it down to just one core desired feeling. Okay. So your desire mapping to remember your light, your true nature, your source, the life source that connects us all. To know your heart's longing, your core desired feelings. To use your preferred feelings as a guidance system for making choices and for being more present and more alive. To help you use your desired feelings as a way to access comfort and clarity during painful times. To use your desired feelings as creative fuel to make great things happen in your life that will radiate out into the world. To accentuate the positive aspects of your life while still honoring and not invalidating the negative parts that you want to change. To use your feelings as road signs to your soul. So just doodle on your paper until you feel like you're kind of boiling it down to, if you can get it down to 1, great, and if you can't, then.
Sorry, I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, so we're writing down the how do you want to feel in the area of livelihood and lifestyle? How do you want to feel in the area of relationships?
Can you repeat this?
Yeah, no.
Oh, sure.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, I should have made a poster of that. So yeah, just brainstorming. Write down all the feelings you can think of how you want to feel in some of those different areas. If you have a certain goal, then you can think about how do I want to feel when I achieve that goal? What's the feeling I'm after that's underneath that goal. Remember that anything goes. Don't censor yourself. You can write phrases, sentences, nonsensical sentences. Write the same word over and over again until you find something else. Sometimes a feeling doesn't have one word that goes to it, so you might have to describe the feeling. next is go around the circle, and if you've settled on one core desire feeling, declare that. And if you haven't settled on your core desire feeling, we can all kind of together help you whittle it down, or maybe even help, sometimes it's like a phrase, it's like the feeling of, floating on the river, on a sunny day, like sometimes it's that kind of feeling. So, and maybe we can kind of help you get to the actual word.
Wait, it's a word? It's a sentence?
Well, it can be whatever you want it to be. It's good to have it in one word, just because then it's like, you can write it on your, Post-its and whatever. Yeah, so, does anybody just want to go first, or should we go around the circle? Yes.
Is it a feeling like be inspired?
Yes, feeling inspired. Yeah, that would be a feeling. Yeah, so is that yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so what I want for all of us to do is to support, can't say your name, and say together, you deserve to feel inspired. So let's all say that to Coraline. You deserve to feel inspired. So what does that mean for you? Like what are the goals? What's attached to that inspiration?
Joy and being aligned, being also inspiring and creative. These ideas.
Thank you. Who else is ready?
So I've noticed, I've done this before, so I was kind of playing around with words, and I noticed that some of my core desire feelings seem to be sort of opposite, or have an opposite energy. Like I want to be abundant financially and also free. And so I combined, started putting those together, and my word that I came up with was whole. So that it's all like one thing.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's say it for Nikki. You deserve to feel whole. Awesome. Anybody else want to go? Okay.
Mine was flexible, and in that it's not, well, I wrote freedom to choose without having to modify due to physical restriction. So to me, it's flexible in the body, but it's also flexible in this life of, being an entrepreneur, being a parent, being a unschooling parent, liking structure and wanting to be so it's being flexible, fluidity, really. Having that fluidity in my life so that it's I can really balance all of that with grace and ease and get whole in my body to get integrated with why am I holding here? Okay, I get it. Now let's release and move on.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the opposite of that, like resistance, rigidity feeling.
And I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to welcome it in. Here. I really did. I had to physically say that. Okay, I feel you. I hear in all the different parts. And what do I need to learn? And I did that whole piece. But then it's like, okay, it's still here. All right. Today, right before coming down, it's still here. Okay. So breathing with it. Did some yoga.
Right.
And that. And it's like, okay, but without restriction. That's the piece that I'm resisting. I'm like, I don't want that restriction. I don't want restriction.
So how would that feel for those to coexist at the same time, though?
Yeah, and that's where it's an internal struggle within me, because at times I'm okay, and I'm like, okay, there's still stuff I need to heal and learn and grow from, and at other times I'm, cursing and mad and angry and like, okay, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired of it. I'm tired of my family all running it to be done as well. Because it was from the fall. It's been 18 months.
Right.
Isn't that such a huge part of it though? Aren't you just exhausted with what it's doing to your family?
Well, that's just
Yeah.
it. And that's just
So
it. I don't want to take up
totally,
the whole time. But like Saturday night we had a discussion and I said, okay, what are you most happy about in your life right now? And what are you most discontented about your life right now? And then we all spent time as we walked and I came back to the house and then, when was 3 different locations, but we continued the conversation. And all 3 of us, it was around my injury.
Yeah.
All 3 of us were like,
Yeah.
we're just, you know, we don't know how to help you, we feel powerless, we feel helpless, we feel sad, you know, we feel irritated, and my daughter's like, and I feel like I don't really have hope anymore because I'm so tired of hearing it. And she said, and I don't mean that to be insensitive because I know you're in pain, but it's like I just hear it all the time. So that's why upstairs I had a meltdown because I was trying not to say like this hurts, this hurts, this hurts. And then I teach nonviolent communications, and we were going to meetings and meetings and talking about all that. And I just had a meltdown and I started crying. And I said, I'm sad, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sad because I don't want to put this on you. And I also want it gone. But it's not gone.
Right.
So I'm in that constant.
Just be gentle.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to cry. It's okay
Yeah.
to feel what you're feeling.
I know, I just didn't want to lay it on her again. Like, no, we're supposed to
I
have
know,
fun.
but it
We're
doesn't
gonna have
change
fun.
anything. Like the crying is a great release, but it doesn't change the reality.
Yeah.
That's where I get.
Yeah.
Well, I think it does change the reality though, because when you do release,
Yeah.
then I mean, just think about the relaxation that happens in your body. That's a change, right? And when we can relax more, then our cells can, you know, get more nutrients, and you know, when we relax, then it tells all the things in our bodies you're safe. You know, you don't have to be in fight or flight mode. You can be in growth mode. You know, because we have to be in one or the other, right? You're either in protection mode or in growth mode. And if you're resisting, you're in protection mode. You know, and you can't.
Tears are like, that's your heart talking to you, you know? Like, so when I finally did, it was like, okay, I'm sad. Like, underneath of all this, I'm just sad. You know, I'm like,
Right.
sad. And it's like, I just want it to stop. And I know it's not going to. So, but it was your heart. It's, you know, it's your heart's way of connecting your soul.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's interesting that you were talking about, you know, it's great that you were asking your kids, like, how do you feel about all these things? And, I mean, how much of it really felt like a mirror of
Oh,
things you're feeling, you know?
We picked the same cards.
Yeah.
I was like, I need an order, and I'm like, do you have what? Yeah. Do you need? I'm like, I'm looking for a connection. She's like, I have that one too. And it was literally all we picked. We each picked
Yeah.
the same ones, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah. That I was just looking at, there's this little blurb in here, it's talking about feelings are magnetic, right? Each feeling is a beacon that attracts more of that same kind of, you know, you can call it a frequency or a vibration, or so, you know, the more you're feeling hopeless and helpless and powerless, you know, that's gonna ripple out into the family. And then there one other thing, so how would it, so, you know, you have your restrictions, right? I'm guessing
Like
and
sitting like this on the floor is painful to me. So that's a restriction.
Right.
I have to modify. I have to sit in a chair.
right.
You know, that.
And sitting in a chair is a way to be flexible, right? Sitting in a chair is a way to just, so it's not that like being flexible will be the absence of restriction, it'll be a way to flow around the restrictions,
It's a
right?
modification. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in modification mode forever.
Right.
And I didn't have to modify before. So I keep looking at how it was then. It's like, okay, well, it was then. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of deep breaths.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Who else? Let's see. Oh yes, you deserve. Let's say it together. You deserve to feel flexible.
Mine is peaceful.
Okay.
And everything I wrote down for the different things, everything's different, but like the general feeling, I would say, is just peaceful. Because I tend to be a little chaotic and here and there and all like so. I would desire to be peaceful.
So this is another interesting contrast, because I think sometimes we think that peace is like the absence of the chaos, but really what's that saying about like peace is feeling that peaceful feeling in the midst of the chaos, even though the chaos is still, you know, all around us and our life is still happening and we're still juggling lots of
Because I
stuff.
feel pulled in a million different directions all the time doing
Right.
And so I guess balanced and peaceful.
Yeah. So finding a way to find that, you know, even though you're still, you know, that chaos is not going to go away.
Right.
Right.
maybe continue.
Well, and so then once you're able to find those moments of peace, then it, you know, that will ripple out, you know, to create, to maybe help that simmer down a little bit, you know, whatever all those things are.
Right.
Right, thank you. So let's all say it together. You deserve to feel peaceful. Okay.
I was going to say peaceful. So when you said it, and then as you were talking, I was like, balanced, I think, is really what I'm looking for. Like, I definitely need to feel peaceful, and my life is chaos, and I am a very stressed person all the time. Like, I have chronic Lyme disease, and it's not working. The antibiotics, I'm just a mess, and it causes a lot of anxiety. Not just it's an actual symptom, but it also the fact that I'm not like getting better, or I get better and then it comes back again or whatever, causes me anxiety as well. And when I look at what I want to feel more peaceful, but it really is balance, because I want, you know, I want this and this to coincide, and I want that and this to coincide, and so I just, when you said balance, I was like, no, that's more it for me. And it's interesting because I do yoga, I practice yoga daily, which is like usually like, okay, I have 2 minutes to pose for a balance pose. That's all I have to do is I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be a tree for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all I have time for. But yeah, stay balanced.
Awesome. Okay, so let's say it together. You deserve to feel balanced.
Mine's playful. Basically, it's about finding freedom, not only financially, but just recognizing that I'm supposed to be here to have fun. It's not, there's no rules. So there are guidelines, there are, I suppose there's limitations in school. It's really finding that deep knowing that the universe wants me to succeed, wants me to be my best self. And I find that play, finding laughter and joy and that kind of stuff is part of my regular experiences. I'm not getting crazy from figure out on the wrong way in the highway.
I thought you handled that very well.
But yeah, so just finding a way to accept that the Google Maps doesn't work properly all the time. And just be playful in life and just find ways to enjoy it.
Right, take it less seriously. Awesome. Alright, so let's say it together. You deserve to feel playful. Okay, who's next? Beth? Okay.
I was gonna say just joy, but when I was doing all my doodles, because everything I already have joy and love and all those things, so my word is actually more, because I just want to feel more joy, more love, more abundance, more energy, more of everything. So
Awesome.
more is
Yay! So that, to me, that just feels like so much expansion, you know, like when things are working, right? It's okay to want more. Like, I want more of these great things that I'm experiencing in my life. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's say it together. You deserve to feel more. Awesome. Okay. We could go around the circle to get everybody in.
So, the word I've come up with, I'm not sure it's the right word, but we call it self-validated. And it comes from the idea that I tend to be critical of other people, which can lead to problems. Sometimes it's I'm not being critical, but it's interpreted as being critical. So I'm thinking it's related to self-validated.
Like self-criticism.
No. I need to feel good in my own place and not put it on others.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's when we're judging others, really, you know, we're judging ourselves. There's always a mirror, right? Whenever we're projecting something out there, there's always an element, like I've found in my own life at least, if I'm critical of someone else, it's usually, I'm most critical of myself. So that totally makes sense. Yeah, right. And those of us who are critical of other people are usually our own worst critic, right? So yeah, I think that feels like a much more like aligned place to be, because then you don't have to be critical of other people. Yeah, I think that sounds like a great kind of thing to guide your life by. So let's say it together. You deserve to feel self-validated. Awesome. Okay, who's next? Okay, spit it all out. We'll help you.
I think that I just need to stop worrying. Always worrying because I feel like, like you said, I am critical of others and I'm quick to judge. I'm trying not to be, but on the other hand, I look at myself and I see that I worry about doing things because I worry about being judged. So maybe I need to stop judging so that I can feel confident about what I want to do.
So is confident the feeling that you're after?
I don't know if it's probably confident.
Centered, you're centered in your own, like, you were centered in your own self, and you would be doing that.
But then doesn't that mean that you're unsure of yourself? Because I'm sure of myself. I'm sure that I'm sure that what I do is the right thing, what I want is the right thing, but I'm worried about trying new things and putting myself out there, even though the end goal is, it's necessary for my end goal, and I worry about, being judged. So I don't do it.
Self-confidence. Like you're assured that you're sure that what you want is what you want, but you're unsure whether if you do that somebody else might see you or not.
I think that, I don't know, like a lot of what I'm worried about is not so much what's part of like what's inside of my conviction, but more, am I going to say the right, more like superficial things. I'm going to appear, I'm going to say the right thing, am I going to talk too much about myself, am I going to look too dressed up, or am I going to be judged on like my outer shell,
So you're feeling confident about your choices and your direction, but you're not feeling confident in expressing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that did you take ballet?
I did.
That's from ballet.
That's from ballet?
Yeah, it's performance anxiety. I feel you.
Have the same thing, form of ballet.
Yeah, the performance anxiety, isn't it? Like.
It also feels a little like what often happens is you need to feel like you have permission. External permission. Like if everybody else approves and gives me permission, I can do what I'm feeling.
So what is the feeling?
More what she doesn't want to feel than what she does want to feel.
Right. So we want to find the feeling word that's the opposite of feeling judged over your expression, because you're sure about your choices and what you want and maybe even how you're going to get it, right? Are you feeling?
Yeah, I know how to get it.
But the actually doing it is where you get judged.
Yeah.
So are you looking for acceptance from others? Because if you're trying to see how they're going to react to you, then you're looking for acceptance.
Yes, that's what it is.
And it's also a safety to be vulnerable, like safety to be in that vulnerable place where you're truly authentic, to say, this is who I am.
Yeah, I am worried about being myself. Definitely.
Expressive?
But not by yourself. When you introspect, you have no problem with yourself.
No, it's true.
So then you're seeking others' acceptance, you're seeking their approval.
Yeah.
That's a problem. If you're going to rely
that are that accepted, heard, all those words that have to do with somebody else. That's not a good core desire feeling to use because it's dependent on other people accepting you, right? So we want to think of.
Well, how do you feel when you're not accepted? Like you make a risk, you go out there, and then someone makes some nasty comment.
Then that's what's been happening. I kind of like wind up losing myself. I used to have like a very French sense of humor. And now I've been here 13 years, and I can't do it anymore. I don't do it because I make people feel bad.
We're very sensitive. That's
Now you know how to write it.
So that's part of like the reasons why I feel the way I feel. You know, I just don't. I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, and then I'm just like retrieving and feeling like, wow, okay, I'm doing this wrong again. I'm gonna have to change again, and then I wind up losing myself.
Right.
So
would the feeling be that you just don't want to give a shit what everybody else thinks?
Oh, yes. That's the feeling because and that's exactly what it is. That I care about what people think, and I want to stop caring because I can't control what they think.
Right. You'll never make you'll never make 10% of the people happy. I mean, yeah.
So yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Can we say
That's
it?
your yeah. You deserve to not give a shit. That is such an empowering, place to be, right? Because it's not like you're like thinking, well, I don't know what I should do. You know what to do. You know what to do. I'm so excited. All right.
So my feeling has also depend on being inspired. It also depends on something outside.
Well, feeling inspired, I mean, to me, the feeling of feeling inspired is an internal thing. Like I'm feeling inspired with ideas, inspired with, actions or something, things that I want to do.
It's not waiting that something inspires me. Right? Or accepts, like something that accepts.
Well,
inspires me.
I mean, I don't.
Inspired means in spirit.
Yeah, it just means, so another word for that I think is connected, right? Connected to your true self. Because when you're connected to your true self, you do feel inspired. You feel like you're doing the things, or at least your ideas are the things that, are the appropriate things for you. Now, feeling inspiring, like I'm inspiring other people, that does depend on other people. So, you might want to think about what's the feeling underneath that, But to me, inspired doesn't depend on other people, it just depends on finding that opening in yourself where that inspiration can come in. Because it can come from anywhere, right?
Okay.
Okay, who hasn't gone yet?
So we need to talk about it.
Oh, well, didn't we do Corinne first? I think we did. She was the first one. Yeah. Okay, so.
I'm with it.
Okay.
I wasn't sure of mine either until Bev said hers, because sometimes I'll go to things, and I was just recently at this thing called Soul Camp. It's like summer camp for adults, and it was a lot of fun, but some of the things were really heavy, and I was like trying to find things that I was unhappy about just to kind of be with the group, because they were all, I'm like, but I feel really good, I'm happy in a lot of areas. So I would like more so that I can give more and maybe,
Okay, so back up. It's not about giving. It's about you. Right? So yes, wanting more just because you want more, rather than I want more so I can give to other people. Right? Like that's like not well, it's part of worthiness. Like I don't deserve to want more unless I'm going to share it with other people, right? We have that kind of so yes, of course, share it with other people, but just be there with wanting more, right? Like, not because you're gonna do all these other things, but because you deserve to want more.
Right. But
How
why
does
would
that-
I want more when I feel full? I would want to feel more so that it can be overfull and
Right. And I'm not saying never share it. I'm just saying in this, space, justifying our desires isn't going to be helpful because we want to be fully in those desires. That it's okay to want more.
right.
And there are a lot of reasons to want more, right? Because we can help other people, because we can, do better work in the world, whatever. But I just wanted to mention that,
It is okay.
yeah,
So that's what
it is. All right, so let's say it together. You deserve more. Okay, were you ready?
Yeah, can you not say you deserve to?
That's okay. Yeah. Let's skip it.
Yeah. I'm with Amy for help, and I forgot your name. Chris. So yeah, I'm working on help. That's basically what I'm working on.
And
It
so
makes you feel like you're not available.
yeah.
Like you're. So I think part of what you were saying, like, you don't want to accept it because you want to get better. So then you say, well, maybe I'm not getting better. So how do I accept that? So I think a lot of times we are in between. Like, all right, is this just going to go downhill from here, and then I have to prepare for that, or is this going to get better?
So what's your feeling? Your core desired feeling?
Oh, healthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
want to feel healthy.
Right.
Awesome. So you said something and it's kind of gotten to be a theme now. Like, so your reason, one of your reasons for wanting to feel healthy is because when you don't feel healthy, you don't feel available. And do you mean available for other people, available for life?
For anything.
Yeah.
Because it kind of shuts you down.
Right. So, and it just occurred to me that sometimes, when we're in that process of healing, well, no, a lot of times when we're in that process of healing that, we think, I want to get better so that I can be available for my family and available for life, and and I want to have more so I can give more. But sometimes we really do just have to say, I want to get better for me. I just want to get better, and I'm not going to even worry about the fact that I'm not available right now because, it'll never happen, if I don't circle the wagons and just really focus on.
Do you live with anyone else who's ill?
What was the question?
Do you live with anyone else who's ill?
No.
So my husband has chronic illness and lots of things going on. And so part of what made me better was not to try to worry about him all the time. And kind of accept that this is the way he is and not try to save him from it. And it's a similar process I had to go through with his parents. And they're in their 90s, so his mother's been on benzos for so long, and like her personality is just completely gone now. So it's kind of like, I've been through that transition of just acceptance, where you go through this period of acceptance. And so then I say to myself, okay, is it my turn to accept what's happening? Or do I say, no, I'm going to try to figure this out?
That's a scary moment of accepting that thing that is like the worst thing in your life.
Yeah.
But, and I went through a similar thing with my son has severe autism, and so ever since we knew that it was autism and that's what we were dealing with, I've been trying to learn how to help him, right? Like, how can I help him? How can I help him? How can I help him? And coming to a place of saying, maybe this is as good as it's going to get for him, and accepting that, and then, and then I was able to do the self-care and all the things. But then doing the self-care, then helped me be able to help him more, so it's like you don't want to accept that your kid is never going to leave home and, is never going to talk and is never going to use the toilet. I mean, that's like, no, I don't want to accept that, but, allowing myself to go there, as hard as it was, did free up so much for me to then make progress for myself. So then, we can make more progress, but then it becomes, that's just like bonus, right? Like, and then something else you said. Anyway. Yeah, so feeling healthy is a good feeling, isn't it? And so, well, we need to let everybody finish and then we'll go on to the next thing. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to.
I'm a recovering Catholic.
Okay, so who else hasn't gone? You guys have all gone.
Okay, so it really helped me listening to you guys say like more and other things. So I think I have a problem about thinking all the time, like you said. So I'm going to tell you my logic, I guess, before I. So look, desires are never going to stop. We're human. We're always going to have desires. Some are fulfilled, some are not. But that stream will continue, right? I want to feel joyful. I want to feel this, that. It's just never going to stop. So then, there was only one time in my life that I experienced this feeling of complete acceptance. I was in the presence of a really powerful being, right? He was this amazing, hard to describe, right? Energetic presence, whatever you want to call it. And in that moment, I experienced a feeling that says, everything is perfect just the way it is. Hard to describe it. You cannot logically, particularly in certain circumstances, you can't logically put, words around it, but I just experienced it. And I call that feeling almost like being completely fully aware in the moment. Because the desire is a mixture of the past and the future being projected on your present, as opposed to just being here. So as I was listening to you guys say, I think the word that describes what I'd like to be is enlightenment. Because my thought process is an enlightened being is completely present in the moment. They're not he, they're not she, they're not me, they're not you. They're just a slice of life. That's it, just a piece of life, just experiencing life. That's what I want every moment.
It just feels secure.
I'm just here.
So your word is enlightened?
Okay.
Okay, so let's say it together. You deserve to feel enlightened. Okay, who hasn't gone and wants to go still? Okay. All right, so the next step, so now that you have a core desire feeling, what we do with the desire map is use that feeling. So when you make your to-do list, when you set your 1 year, 5 year, 10 year goals, we use that feeling to figure out the next step, right? Like, so if we're trying to figure out what to do to get to our 1 year goal, and we have a choice between, this action or this action, we can use that feeling to say, well, is this action going to give me my core desired feelings, or is this one? Or which one's going to give them to me more? So that's, one of the ways that you can use them. And then the whole thing about coming back into the present moment is looking for ways, rather than saying, well, I'm going to have these feelings in a year, 10 years when my goal is done. I want to have these feelings today. So also including in your to-do list some things that will give you that feeling. So I just wanted everybody to spend a couple minutes and brainstorm some ways that you can today create that feeling. Today and tomorrow, and also when you get home. What are some things that you can do in your life? And even if it's just for a tiny moment. So like when I have this kid who requires constant care, and I didn't have, I had a husband that was working a job, but he was working 60 hours a week, so luckily he was bringing home money, but he wasn't, at home to help that much. So it was really just me. And I felt that, freedom was one of my core desired feelings, but there was no, and all the bad feelings I had were because I thought that I would never have any freedom ever again, with a kid that's never going to grow up. And so I started to look for ways that I could create freedom, and even just 10 minutes alone in the bathroom, is a little bit of freedom, and then every once in a while I was able to go to like a yoga class or something that was just for me, that was, I literally didn't think I was going to be able to, do those kinds of things. So think about how you can create, and it doesn't have to be, I'm enlightened every minute of the day, but what are some things that you can do, and, so make yourself some action steps of what you can do. For me, like meditation is a good way to feel inspired, right? To just kind of clear off all the cobwebs, so then the inspiration can come in, that's something I thought about when we were talking about feeling inspired. So we just have a few minutes left, so just spend a couple minutes doing that, and then if anybody has a hard time thinking of, does anybody need more paper? If you have a hard time thinking of any action steps, then maybe we can brainstorm with each other. Anybody having a hard time coming up with one or two things? don't give a shit. That's awesome. Yeah, great idea. Anybody else want to share?
Like what I came up with was to have more, because mine was whole and like seeing different parts of my life. I want to have more time for reflection so that I can see how those, imagine like a to-do list, like I'll go through, okay, I'm doing this and this and this, and it'll all be for different parts of my life, but like have more reflection on how it is all one whole thing.
Yes. To see
Like a
all
bigger
those pieces.
picture.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, setting aside a little bit of time each day, or however often you can, to like just even imagine yourself like floating up above and like see, oh wow, it's so cool when you do that with your life. You're like, oh wow, no wonder that is like all because this is oh my god, it's yeah, yay, that's awesome.
I have a type of kind of meditation that is writing every morning when you wake up. All the thoughts.
Yes, like morning pages.
Yeah, does somebody have tried it?
So there's a book. Oh, maybe you should do The Artist Way. Yeah.
It's in this book. I should perhaps find this book and
Yes, it's a book called The Artist Way. And one of the processes that she suggests is every morning you write. Is it 30 minutes? Or 3 pages? Yeah. Okay, and you just write in stream of consciousness. You just no judgment, right? Just write. Yeah, that's a good way to kind of turn on that faucet of inspiration for sure. Yeah, great idea. Do The Artist Way when you get home. That'll be awesome. Anybody else? Not you. Okay. Does anybody need help thinking of some action items to try to feel their feeling? Yeah. Okay, well then I will just read one last. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do one more reading then to close the circle. So thank you all for being here and for sharing. And it's so great. This is one of the reasons that I think the Desire Map workshop is so great, because hearing other people talk about their process and their, really, so many people said today, hearing you talk about it helped me get clarity on, what mine is. So it really is a valuable process. All right, so you are worthy of your desires. Really wanting what you want gives you the power to get it. You were born free. The more you try to earn your freedom, the more trapped you become. You are worthy of love and respect. You deserve eye contact, smiles in the morning, food made with pure intention, clean drinking water, fresh air, hello, please, thank you. You deserve time to think about it. You deserve a chance to show them what you're made of. You deserve a second chance. You deserve an education, health care, including dental, multiple orgasms, weekends off, 8 hours of sleep, play before work. You deserve to change your mind. You deserve to say no, to say yes. You deserve to have your deepest needs met. You deserve to be seen, and you deserve to be loved for who you really are. You deserve all this and more just because you showed up to life. Thanks, y'all. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. I'm doing a Desire Map workshop starting September 27th. It's going to be on Zoom. It's like a conference call, video conferencing thing. Yeah, I live in Texas, so people from all over will be.
Do you have a day card?
I have actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, so if you want information about the Desire Map thing, I'll give you my contact info is here.